Hi everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for clicking on my video. I know you're going to love this craft today because it turns out so cute. So back by popular demand, we are making some more magnetic bookmarks. They are so fun to make. You guys really loved my last tutorial that I did last summer, so I'm updating it this summer with a little bit of a new idea and kind of different materials, but very similar. So we are going to, instead this year, we are going to make little laminated bookmarks. Let me see if I can get this to focus for you. So these are laminated bookmarks, and I decided to laminate them this year by putting a laminate sheet over some scrapbook paper just to increase their durability. So you can use any scrapbook paper that you would like. I did some Disney princess themed paper that I got from Cricut, and I wanted to do that just because I know my girls will just love these, and I have a little reader in the house now, so I wanted to make something really special for them. So I'll be sure to link the previous video that I did on these because you guys just loved them. We are following a very similar method today, but I'm going to show you how you can use any type of scrapbook paper, and I'll show you how to apply the laminate sheet before you cut it through your Cricut machine. So very easy. These make really good gifts. So they would make really good teacher gifts. They would be fun for back to school. They would also be fun little stocking stuffers as well. Anybody who loves to read would really love this gift, as well as if you have a little Bible study, you could pass these out at Bible study so you can mark in your little Bible study books where you are each week. The possibilities are endless. So I love how they turned out. I saved one that I didn't show you, and you'll see it a little bit later, but I made 4 and they turned out so cute. So let's go ahead and hop into Design Space. Be sure to give this a thumbs up before we get started, and I'll see you in Design Space where I will walk you through this whole craft from start to finish. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so to begin creating our magnetic bookmarks, we are simply going to come over to Images, and then we are going to type in Pennant into the search engine here. And once you type in Pennant, you're given a lot of little banner options, which are really nice for creating little magnetic bookmarks that just flip over the page. So I'm going to use this, but feel free to use anything that you'd like. So I'm going to select this, and then I will say Insert Image. It's just called Pennant in Design Space if you want to look for it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock it, and I am going to give this a width of 1.1 and a height of 2.2. Now I've already made these before in a previous tutorial where I used the Cricut Joy adhesive back paper, and that was really neat. I used it using my Explore Air 2 just like we're going to be doing in this video, but I used it with the adhesive back Joy paper. But I really wanted to try doing a laminated version, so we're going to try another tutorial on this and just take it another step. So now I have this piece, and what I want to do is I'm going to come up and duplicate this, and then I will bring it up, come up to flip, and I will say flip vertical. Now these pieces I'm going to highlight, and I'm going to make them gray. These are going to be my magnetic pieces. So these will be cut out of the magnetic sheets that I have. So I'll go ahead and set these over to the side, but then I want to create the little paper sheet as well. So I'm going to duplicate both, just like that, bring it over. And then what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to attach these pieces together. So what I want to do is come over to Shapes, grab a square, and then I'm going to unlock this so that I can give this a width of 1.1. Okay, and I'll just shorten that to about an inch. Okay, so now what I can do here is I can use this to connect the two pieces. So I'm placing that right in the middle. I'm going to select all 3. I'm going to come up to Align, and I am going to say Center horizontally. That way they are all lined up perfectly, and then what I can do is I can come down and weld them all together. So this is going to be my paper piece, and what my paper piece is going to do is it's going to connect the magnetic pieces together. So I'll show you. Let me make this a different color. This is going to be my pink piece, and then if I bring these to the front, then what my little magnetic pieces are going to do is they are going to sit on the paper, and then what they'll do is the paper will fold onto itself to create the little magnetic bookmark. Okay, so we are all set to go. So I am making a total of 4 bookmarks. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I will go ahead and in turn duplicate this 4 times. Okay, so I'm all set. I guess I need to delete one of these, excuse me. So I had one too many over there. Okay, so now I have my Explore Air 2 selected. I can go ahead and say make it, and then you'll see that it's going to place all of my magnetic sheets on one, and then it will place all of my paper sheets on another, which is perfect. But what I want to do is, since my magnetic sheets are in a 4x6 pack, I need to go ahead and rearrange this so it's going to fit. So I need to bring some of these down just like this. And it looks like I won't have quite enough room to fit my last one on a 4x6. So what I'll do is I will put another piece of magnetic sheet over here, and I will cut the remaining 2 out over here. Okay, so we are good to go. You'll see me arrange everything on the mat later. And then for this, I want to separate these because I am going to be doing 4 different pieces of scrapbook paper, so I want to give myself plenty of room to place those on my mat. Okay, so I'm going to do just about like this. Okay, now I can go ahead and say continue, and then I can make my material selections. So for my magnetic sheets, I'm going to browse all materials. I'm going to scroll all the way down to other, and then for the material that I purchased, I'm going to do magnetic sheet 0.6 millimeters. That's just the closest to the material that I have purchased. So I'll go ahead and select that and say done. It's going to go ahead and let me know we're going to use the deep point blades. So I'm going to note that. And then when I come back to do the paper, what I'll do is I need to change my setting. So I'll come back here, and then I'm going to browse all materials. I'm going to come down to medium cardstock, and I'll use that setting, say done, and then what I'll do is I'm actually going to apply more pressure. And the reason why I'm applying more pressure is because I'm actually going to place a laminate sheet on top of my scrapbook paper to increase the durability. So I'm just going to add more pressure just to make sure that it goes through both the scrapbook paper, which is a thicker paper in and of itself, but also so that it will go through that laminate sheet as well. So we'll test out that setting and see if it works. Okay, so again, let me go back up here and change my setting so that it's all set for my magnetic sheet. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll get that deep point blade placed in. For the paper, we'll just use our regular fine point blade. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have these little adhesive back magnetic sheets I have used for so many projects, and I really like them. I'll go ahead and place this on my green mat, and again, I'm going to have to actually use 2 sheets here since I didn't quite have enough for all of my little pieces. So I have 2 sheets here. That looks good. Now I can go ahead and load this into my machine. And then again, I need to switch out my blades. So what I'm going to do is open up clamp B, remove my fine point blade, just set that to the side, and then I'm going to insert my deep point blade. So simply drop that into clamp B, and then close that clamp. Then just making sure my little pieces are all the way down here, and we'll go ahead and press cut. Okay, one of my little guys went traveling because my mat is losing its sticky, so I went ahead and completed the cut for this piece, but I will go ahead and recut for this piece really quick. Okay, so I'm just moving that other piece over to this side where it has a little bit more stick. You could also grab your strong grip mat as well to make sure it's really, really on there, and then load that in. Okay, so we are good to go. Now what I can do is set these little sheets to the side. So it's hard to see, but they did cut out. Just like that. Okay, so we'll set those to the side, and then we're going to get our paper all ready. So what I did with my paper is I am using little Disney paper that I purchased from Cricut. They're so pretty. And these are for my girls who are really in love with the Disney princesses right now. So I'm making these for They're little school books, and my oldest is reading, so we are doing chapter books and some fun things. So I want to have some little bookmarks for them as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some laminate sheets, and these are the little self-adhesive ones. So you just peel off the back and then you can go ahead and laminate. So if you peel away this top part, then you have a little sticky edge, and then it will help you place everything. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I'm going to approach this. But I'll go ahead also and share what this actually is. So this is the Avery's self-laminating sheets, and they're really, really nice. I also use these when creating die cut stickers, and I'll link a tutorial to that as well. So those are really, really fun to do. So that just makes your stickers more durable. And so in turn, I thought because paper is not as durable, that placing a laminate over the top will just increase the durability for these little bookmarks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over, and I'm simply going to cut out little strips of this. So luckily it has grid lines on the back, which are really helpful. And I'm just going to cut little strips so that I can apply these separately to my 4 pieces of scrapbook paper. So I'm also trimming down my scrapbook paper to just about the size that I'll need for my mat. And then I will go ahead and place those little sheets right on top. So it looks like we need just about 5 inches. So I am making those just a little bit longer than 5 inches in length. Okay, and also the reason why I wanted to just get some strips was because then you can kind of center your design so that you have a little princess on each one. So I just wanted to make sure I got a little bit of fun character on each little piece. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to take my label. Now you saw me peel that little piece off, so there is a little sticky part at the very top, which is super helpful because then it will help you line it up. So I'm just going to peel back a little bit of my laminate sheet, just like this, and then I'm going to fold over the back here. Then I'll keep a little scraper tool handy, and we'll just start with our first piece. So I'm just going to place my laminate over my scrapbook paper, just like this, okay? And then I'm going to take my scraper squeegee tool and then just really press down onto that. And then I can just pull this little back part and allow it to fall. That laminate's just gonna fall right onto my paper, just like that. Okay, so I'll show you in just a second. Since it's clear, it's a little tough to see, but then I can also trim this off at the bottom so that we can maybe get another bookmark out of that strip. Okay, so now this has a glossy laminate over the top of it. Do you see that? So all we did was place a laminate sheet right over the top. Okay, so now I'm going to I'll go ahead and just use the little bit I have left, we might as well. And I'm going to place that on to my next little piece here. So just lining that up. And I will just simply peel this background away, allowing that laminate just to fall right onto my paper. Just like that. And you can really just use your fingers, but you can also use this scraper if you would like as well. Okay, and then again, just trimming off this little piece down here, just like that. And then we have a little laminated sheet of paper. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the final 2, and then I'll save what I have left over because I can make more. So I'll grab this little sheet. Again, that little top part is exposed. Peel off a little bit more and just kind of fold that there. And then place it right on the paper. Press it down, pull that back part. Okay, here we go. And then trim off my extra. Okay. So there is our next little piece. I can also use my little squeegee scraper tool And there we go. Perfect. Okay, so again, this is just helping to increase the durability because paper will simply rip. And because we're going to be folding that paper onto itself with that magnetic sheet in between, we just want to make sure that that paper is nice and strong. So then we'll grab this little piece. There we go. Easy peasy, trim off our extra, and now we're ready to place these 4 pieces onto our mat. Okay, so now I have my blue mat here, and now I can just place them on the mat accordingly all at once like I had them in Design Space. That's why I was spacing them apart on the mat in Design Space. So I'll go ahead and place one right over here, and then we'll place one here. Okay, and then finally on the right side here. Okay, so now I'm just going to change my setting in Cricut Design Space, and then we will get to cutting. Okay, so again, I changed my setting to medium cardstock, and I set it to more pressure. And now I need to take out my deep point blade and reinsert my fine point blade into clamp B. And then we can go ahead and insert our mat. So it looks like it's getting a really good cut. Okay, so before I click the unload button, which is just that arrow button right here that flashes, I'm just going to make sure that I actually got a good cut, which you can see that I did. So I'm doing that and checking, because if not, I can just click the Cricut button again and then send it through one more time. But once you unload your mat, then it's hard to reload it. So let's see. Yep, no, that one cut through. And this one cut through. Okay, so I can go ahead and unload my mat, and then I can go ahead and I'll just take off that surrounding area first. Okay. Oh my gosh, that worked so good. I am so happy. Also, this is double-sided paper, so that is amazing. It's going to be so pretty. So then to remove this, let's go ahead and flip our mat over and then just gently peel away those pieces. Look how cute that double-sided paper is. And it's all themed and so sweet. Okay, let me go ahead and put some things away and we will get these assembled. Okay, so I forgot to mention that when I get these all lined up for cutting, I like to have one piece on top, one piece on bottom that are going to be a pair. So that's because I have found that, and I'm not sure if it's just me or if I need a little bit more testing, but they magnetize better to one another if they are on opposite sides of the sheet, if that makes sense. So for these, we will test and see if these line up good because they were cut next door to one another, so side by side instead of one on top of the other. So let's go ahead and just peel some of these off. So I'm gonna go ahead, and it does take a little bit of force to get them off, but they are cut through. So you just have to really, really bend and then peel up. Okay, so see, it is cut. It just takes a little bit of force to get it up off there, but it is a nice cut. Okay, so good to go. So what I like to do is I like to take the piece and then I like to just match it up and make sure that they are going to magnetize together. So those two pieces are good. So I will go ahead now and just bring this little piece down and we'll get these all assembled. So then you're simply going to line them up. And remember, this is adhesive back, so it's nice and sticky. And you're just going to line that up on the back side of that scrapbook paper, just like so. And then lay it down, rub it down. So cute. Okay, and then I'm going to grab the opposite, so the one on the bottom that I tested. It's better to test it before you get it on your magnetic bookmark, or actually on the bookmark, because if for some reason it's not sticking well or it's not straight, then you can fix it before, because once you get that down, it's just so sticky, you're not going to peel it back up. So just do all your testing before fully install it. Okay. So there we go, a little sheet there. Okay, so now we will just place this on the opposite side, having it all line up. There we go. Really, really easy. And then once you go to close it, you're just gonna fold it down onto itself. And there's our first little one. How cute. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. So it opens and then it just closes, and then that will fold over your page. So it's just a little cute bookmark. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the next one. So again, grabbing from the top, testing that to make sure it will work with the bottom one. And it works. It kind of shifts just a little bit. Let me see if it works. Yeah, it shifts just a little bit, but let's go with it and see. Honestly too, once they're over a book page, they're never going to be in alignment with one another. Does that make sense? Once it's over the book page, it's not like you're gonna see if it's perfectly aligned or not. But being the perfectionist I am, that is something that would bother me when they are just freestanding. Okay, so placing that down. Okay, perfect. Let's do the bottom. So it's not that it doesn't magnetize to itself, it just sometimes will kind of kick off to the side. The little magnetic sheet will kind of just jump one way or another. Okay, so there's the other side, super easy. And then we can just fold that down. I have to say those are super durable with that laminate sheet on there. So here's this one. So see how it kind of wants to jump around just a little bit? Whereas this one is just perfectly aligned. So sometimes they just do that. That is our second little one. I love it. So cute. Okay, so let's do the next. And then just testing it for the bottom, and see, that one lines up perfectly. So I don't know if it's really a thing or not, or if it's just kind of a luck thing. But again, once it's over the sheet of your paper, it's not a biggie. So don't stress too much about it. As long as it works, it works. I just make mine for personal use anyway too, so that's not something that's gonna bother me too much. Okay, so then we can just fold this down. This one's Belle. How cute. And there she is. So sweet. All right, final one. And then this, of course, is the one that's next door to one another. So we've got one side for the bottom. Okay, and then we'll flip. I should have flipped all of them over because it kind of helps when the side you are aligning is closest to you. Okay, so we'll grab this last little piece. Okay, there we go. Flip that over onto itself. And there we are. So sweet. I love it. So you'll just want to be careful when you are choosing your pattern that you are kind of meticulous about where you cut your scrapbook paper. That way you can get a little bit, if you have, you know, a character, or if you have something that you want to be the focal point, you'll just want to be careful that you actually cut in the right spot so that your little character matches up right there. So this is how they turned out. I think they're super cute. The girls are going to love these. So then they'll just flip them over the page of their book, have a little bookmark, and these are just adorable. All right, everyone, if you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, you'll see some videos pop up on the screen at the very end, so feel free to click on one and keep crafting along with me, and I will be sure to see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to see more.